What can cause a sudden change in someone's life? This was a question we had talked about before when we were reading Scrooge. If you remember how the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future came to him, and these events and what they showed him caused dramatic changes in his life. For us today, we're not having ghosts visit us, at least I would certainly hope not. We are going to be writing narrative nonfiction. Don't panic, it's just a paragraph. So here's your explanatory paragraph. You will be writing over the course of the week your current experiences as a result of the coronavirus shutting down school until after spring break. Remember that explanatory writing is nonfiction created to explain, inform, define, or describe events, facts, or processes. Explanatory writing can be as long or as short as you like. There must be at least one paragraph. So the writing process, a quick review. We have been doing this since September, the writing process, and for those of you who had me last year, we did this last year as well, so this should not be anything new to you. You're going to pre-write, and with the pre-writing, we have brainstorming, you outline your ideas, you fill out graphic organizers. These are all going to be online. Then you take these ideas from your graphic organizer, so then you move your ideas from your pre-writing into structured forms or paragraphs. After your paragraphs are written, you're going to revise or independently reread your work. Then you're going to proofread or independently edit. Once you've edited using those wonderful tools we have online to identify errors in grammar and punctuation, you are going to submit your rough drafts to me. I'm going to take a look at them, edit, and share them back to you as we have done all year. The only difference is you're not going to share them, you're going to submit them in Google Classroom and they will be returned to you. Additional directions will be online in Google Classroom. Lastly, you're going to publish. Once you get your returned edited drafts from me, you're going to look at them, you're going to make all the edits, you're going to fix everything, and you're going to submit your beautifully polished final draft. Typically, your final drafts, you handwrite them or type them out and print them and hand them to me. We're not going to do that this time. You're going to again submit them online in Google Classroom. So your complete paragraph example. We've gone through this many times. You have your topic sentence, and your topic sentence should be attention grabbing and make the reader want to read it. Then you have your 3 supporting detailed sentences which must fit with the topic sentence. After this is done, you have your concluding sentence which sums up everything you've said so far. So here's your actual assignment. Please write at least one paragraph describing how the sudden change in learning has impacted your lives. One paragraph. You're more than welcome to write more than one paragraph, but you are not required to. Think about the following questions as you brainstorm your ideas. When did the change happen? What caused the changes? How is learning different now? How are after-school activities different now? What are the benefits of these changes? And what am I learning as a result of these changes? So here's my examples. I had this topic and I started to try to write one paragraph, but I couldn't get it all out in one paragraph, so I wrote 5. Do not panic. You do not have to write 5 paragraphs. You just have to write 1. But please just sit and listen while I read you my example. So here's my example. It's hard to believe that only a few weeks ago I was telling my daughters how close we were to getting to summer. We've been looking forward to the warmer weather, flowers blooming, and summer's inevitable return. In the background, there were news stories from a faraway place about a virus making people sick. I shrugged it off and went about my days. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. All the while, the news stories in the background seemed to become louder. We were told to wash our hands, spray with Lysol, and practice social distancing. A new term for something I learned growing up in the city. It means stay away from people because they might hack on you when you least suspect it, and who knows what they have brewing. Social distancing quickly became don't go out into large groups. My daughter's after-school activities were being canceled. I honestly didn't mind because dancing school is on Saturday. Now I had an excuse to sit in pajamas watching cartoons until noon while flipping through various recipe books. Don't go out into large groups then became we're closing down large events and maybe even school. Well, I could do without all of the shopping and eating out. My Amex card and waistline would certainly benefit. I tried to stay positive and spread this positivity to my children and students while those pesky news stories about the faraway place with the strange virus was causing so many notifications on my phone and watch, I had to turn them off. On Friday afternoon, I left work bogged down with textbooks, binders, notebooks, and student consumables. A dear friend lent me one of those old-fashioned metal push carts my grandmother's friends used to take with us years ago in New York when we ran errands on the boulevard and the bags would outnumber the arms needed to carry them. I packed everything I thought I might need and so many things I never will, like a handwriting book that also teaches grammar because so many students would need to demonstrate perfect penmanship while learning online. As I paused to look around my classroom, I wondered how long it would be before we were back to normal. We weren't officially closed, but the same feeling I got when I was a child and an impending snowstorm was amiss was encroaching and wreaking havoc on my stomach. The unknown. Closing schools because of a virus. Completely uncharted territory. Schools were once closed for 3 days in a row during the blizzard of 1996, an unprecedented move by Mayor Giuliani. Children in all 5 boroughs rejoiced while parents lamented at the loss of time they used to do whatever it is they do during the school day. Snowstorms mean temporary closings and an excuse to bake and drink hot cocoa all day. A virus closing? What exactly is a virus closing? Everyone stays home until the school is doused with poisonous chemicals and ventilated so it's safe to breathe the formerly noxious air. Over the weekend, our phone rang with the inevitable news that yes, we were closing for the next few weeks. Instruction would be online. What my students had pleaded for on those days when I said, "Hey guys, we're writing today," had finally happened. School was closed. In times of uncertainty, I did what I always do. I call my relatives. They, of course, have zero patience for whining and complaining and inevitably tell me to shut up and deal with it. One aunt said, "You have the same choice you always have. Roll over and die, or pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and shut up about it. We all have problems. You're not the only one." Alrighty then, pick myself up I did. Providing online instruction is something I haven't done in years, but really enjoyed doing. Thankfully, technology has caught up tremendously. Instead of driving to my classroom, I now teach online from a home office when my daughters sit in different places in the house, wearing headphones and telling the dogs to stop barking. I've gotten to develop and sharpen teaching skills I haven't used in years, or if at all. Has COVID-19 changed things? Certainly. I found that dwelling on what we're losing, like the closings and cancellations and thinking about what we should be doing, is completely counterproductive. Hyper-focusing on negativity isn't going to open restaurants or send the school bus to get kids. Instead, I'd rather spend time enjoying teaching from my office in Mickey Mouse pajamas with no makeup on my face, my hair and my mom poof piled on top of my head. Is this ideal? Nope, not by a long shot. Are we all going to deal with it? Yes, we certainly are. So that was my narrative. So tell me your stories in at least one paragraph. Just one, and you'll have the better part of the week to do it. So I've broken it down into steps like I always do. Step 1, watch the video. Check, you've already done this. So you've watched the video, that's step 1. Then you're going to brainstorm ideas. You're going to make lists, doodle. Some of you like to draw out your ideas, and that's cool, please do that. Essentially, you're going to collect your thoughts by planning out what you're going to say when you do write. Then after the brainstorming, you're going to write your rough draft. You're going to bring all your ideas into paragraph form. Remember, paragraphs have topic sentences, supporting details, and concluding sentences. You're going to submit your rough drafts to me for editing in Google Classroom. Then your final draft. After the editing is done, you are going to receive your rough draft. You submitted it, I returned it, edited. Now you're going to make those corrections and submit your final draft. If you have any questions, please email me or post a note in the questions thread in our Google Classroom. Thank you.